Hey everyone, my name's Pupsker, and today in Palworld we're going to go over the fastest leveling methods in the game, both for your character and for your pals, and then we'll go over just some general fast leveling methods. Overall, the game is actually pretty simple on how to level quickly, so without further ado, let's go over it. And if you want to support the channel, subscribe, like, comment down below your fastest or favorite leveling method, and you can always use Epic Games creator code Pupsker. So let's take a look. In Palworld, you generally get passive XP just by hanging around your base while your pals start doing anything. You'll notice in the top left those small ticks of XP. While that will give you some XP, it's not the ideal way to farm it at all. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take advantage of each individual pal's capture bonus right here. Seemingly, the capture bonus does scale with your level, so you're going to want to capture as many pals as possible to the 10 out of 10 capture bonus. Every single one of these, eventually, I should try to get to 10 out of 10 if I want to min-max my player leveling as fast as possible. It does scale up with your level, and I'll go show you that now, so you don't actually need, technically, to capture pals that are a really high level. You just need to capture pals that you haven't captured before, to the 10 out of 10 mark at least. You don't have to capture every single pal every single time, but if you capture the pals every time, especially to the 10 out of 10 bonus, it will make it a lot easier. That's just kind of how the game works. Oh no, I wasted a Megasphere. But it is what it is. You could have seen the pop-up in the very bottom right section there, where it's like, hey, you got your capture XP. Right now, I think my capture bonus XP is sitting at around 2,000 or so. As I level up, it will increase, so that's not really the biggest issue. I'll show you as an example right now, though, the Lamb Ball, which I've already captured a ton of. I've already captured 10. I want to show you what happens when you've captured over the cap, because you do not get any sort of Palworld EXP bonus when you capture them over the cap. You know, it just slowly goes up, and then it's like, hey, you captured it, capture success, but that is it. You get slowly more stats, and you can break down pals, so it is a good idea to over-capture them, don't get me wrong, but you're definitely going to want to just run around capturing pals while you're running around in the world, because that's just kind of how Palworld works. It's going to be the fastest XP, and you're going to find a lot of pals as you travel through the game. So each time, it's definitely recommended that you try to grab them and pick them up as much as possible. 7 out of 10, 2,000 EXP bonus in the bottom right there, yet again. We'll capture this one, and then we'll get another 2,000 EXP bonus, 8 out of 10. I'm level 29 now, so it's not like I'm the highest or the lowest level or anything, but that right now will be the fastest method in order to level up your character levels. Technically, that's not the fastest level to level up your pals right now, but as time goes on, it'll still get good XP. Going forward, you're going to search into the center of the map, and that'll slowly have more of the higher level pals. It'll have more of this variation of pals, and that's where you're going to slowly find more pals to capture, right? You have your beginning area, which does have a lot of pals, don't get me wrong, but as you venture forth into the game around all of the little map areas, you will find more pals with more variations, more to capture, higher levels, stronger, and you're going to have to be careful. So this is kind of like an MMO in that sense, where each area is gated off to be lower level. This starting section here is like around max level 20 maybe, with a handful of enemies that are really high level, like a boss for Mamarist, and then the King Paka, and a handful of enemies here or there. But as you continue on, this island going forward and that one, those will be more level 20 or so. So that is the fastest way to level up your character. Let's talk about leveling up pals. First and foremost, quite simply, leveling up pals is a very easy thing of just fight and kill all of the enemies you possibly can. Fighting the enemies around the higher level will grant you more pal XP at a better rate. The ones that invade your base like this, I'm just doing this since it popped up, they aren't actually the best XP rate. They're better for like getting a bunch of random items and stuff, but the XP from them, not going to be the absolute highest. There's a good handful of ways on how to farm your pal XP via killing enemies quickly, but I will go to my favorite method right now. It's a pretty simple method overall, and you'll have to be around level 15 to start doing it. It's quite simply farming the Tower of the Rain Syndicate, and then going forward, each new area you're hitting, farming the higher level towers as you unlock them. I believe this first tower is unlockable for most people around level 15, so maybe you can beat it usually around level 15 to 20, but this is the first like big boss fight you unlock. It's a good idea going around the open world fighting big bosses and whatnot, but this boss will probably be your first big brunt of EXP all at once, especially if you can kill it fast. I sadly can't kill it the fastest, but I don't kill it the slowest, that's for sure. You just want to avoid all of their attacks usually, jump around, and you should be good to go. I think my pal here bugged out. Let me throw it out there. And then just fight the pal. Once you can get the fight down, it starts going a little bit faster. This is definitely a really fast leveling method because you get, I think, base around 1000 XP for everyone in a very short amount of time. It's just because it's a very fast boss, you unlock it early on, and you get a good chunk of XP. Of course, my pals and everything are a little too high of a level, so they're not really going to be gaining the most XP out of this dude right now. This was more for level, I would say 15 to like 20, maybe like 23 max. But this is still a very good leveling method, and the idea goes forward through each boss. Unlock each Tower Syndicate boss, fight the boss, and farm the boss for good XP for your pals, right? As your pals level up, they'll do more damage, so they'll be able to kill them even faster. But that's kind of the brunt of the game, is you do have to kill enemies around your level, or capture enemies in general, in order to gain fast XP. Killing enemies, it's more important, obviously, to kill them around your level. Capturing it doesn't really matter because you're just going for that sweet, sweet capture bonus. But for fighting enemies, oh my, it matters so much, right? Like, you do more damage as you level up, so it will make it faster. But you'll still want to fight higher level enemies. That entire base raid at the camp that took me like a couple minutes to clear off, that'll get me less XP, right? 1500 XP for my pals, I should say, and about 1000 XP for my character. So it's a good XP farm once you're a little lower level, but once you get up to the higher level, it doesn't work quite as well. So let's talk about now more just general fast leveling methods in this game, starting off with dungeons. Dungeons are a really good method for a couple of reasons, right? I'm not going to fully complete this dungeon or anything because that would take a little bit too long, but dungeons are good for two reasons. A, they have a bunch of different pals that you can capture. B, they have a bunch of different pals and syndicate thugs that you can fight, and C, there is a higher level, usually stronger boss at the end that you can either capture or just kill for a good chunk of XP. So dungeons are 100% a pretty good leveling method in general, right? But along with dungeons, they're not the only thing that's out there. This game also has, instead of dungeons, just kind of open area syndicate thug bases here and there where you can run around and you can capture bases. There are syndicates that just kind of set up near each of the base, and in those bases you are able to kill all of the syndicate thugs, right? But after you kill all the syndicate thugs, you can also free a captured pal, which will count as a capture EXP bonus. I don't think there's a spawned syndicate like area right here right now, but usually they tend to show up. They're just cute little bases that show up around, and they have a bunch of syndicate thugs and things like that. There are also slave traders and merchants in the game that if you have a excess of gold coins you are able to trade and capture via trading pals. There's one over here, which is where I'm teleporting to, and then there's another one at the small settlement right there. As well as killing bosses and jumping between each boss, it's also a generally good leveling method. The thing about that is bosses do take, like these open world bosses here, they do respawn, okay, but they take 1 full hour to respawn. So while it will take a while to respawn, it's still a very good leveling method, and you can jump between each one of the open worlds to level. So this is one of the higher level slave trader black marketers. Under here I made my base just so I can get here faster, and because it has ore, you can trade these dudes and you can buy pals. The thing about these pals are, you might not have them, which means, right, you buy it, you get a pal capture bonus. I don't have a Swee, I need another Bristla, need another Swee, right? You can just buy out pals, and if you look in the bottom right, you're getting that whole bonus. New pal captured, new pal captured. I got 8,000 experience from doing that casually, so you know it's just generally a good leveling method to partake in the slave trading of the pals in Palworld. Sounds a little bit funny, definitely is a little bit funny, but it is also the truth, so judge that how you will. So that is all the general good fast leveling methods. The last one I really want to talk about is just how you play the game when you're running around in the open world. It's such a large open world that once you get down to it, it's just a good idea to attack command everything aggressively. By the way, to pop open this menu, you can hotkey 4 by default on PC. It's so you can hit don't command attack, sorry, so that you don't get your pals killing all the other pals. But what you can do is while you're playing the game, throw out your pals while you're running from point A to point B. You might not pick up all the loot that all of these pals drop, but your pals will passively start killing off all of the enemy pals, and then you'll get little XP boosts, right? Like I just got 50 XP for casually killing that one. This is a higher level enemy at 19 instead of like that one, which was level 10. So it'll get me a little more XP, still do good damage. Your pals keep fighting while you're running away. I just want to show this as an example, right? I'm just casually running away, and my pal is over there murdering that other pal until it actually ends up dead, and then boom, I get a passive amount of XP. I get 155 for my pals, I get 100 for my character. What you need to do in order to aggro the enemies, because enemies don't naturally aggro to you half the time, is you have to throw your pal ball at them, pretty much onto them, and then your pal will aggressively start fighting them. You can also just fight them yourself to pull aggro. Sometimes enemies will run away, other times they won't. And then you just let your pals fight as you're going through the general area of the game. Like, it's not that hard. It's not a huge issue to pull off. It's pretty easy, all things considered, right? It takes like seconds to actually do. You just have to actually remember to do it while you're running from point A to point B. Maybe you're exploring stuff, right? You just have to remember to actually do it. And, you know, the flying enemies like that are a little weird because they just fall to the ground instantly. So they might not be your best choice. And sometimes you can even throw, like, your pal spheres to try to capture them if they end up being close enough to you, right? Like, if your pal is fighting and almost kills it and you're just right there, you might as well throw a pal sphere. No point in throwing a pal sphere now. Maybe, yeah, maybe now there would be, but it died so fast. The megaspheres and then gigaspheres are a lot better for farming the higher level areas because that's just kind of how you progress. So yeah, that is just some general leveling tips for everyone. There are a lot of areas in the game, but it is pretty basic overall. You have bosses in the open world, you have Rain Syndicate towers, you have dungeon bosses, you have dungeons themselves, you have capturing pals, and then you have passive work XP, and then you have fighting XP for pals. You can probably see that there's a smoke signal up there. Oh, there's a boss up there that I could go fight. Chances are it would destroy me since it's level 30 and I'm only level 27, but you can kind of see that there might be a little settlement over there or a syndicate camp, so it might be a good idea in general to run over there and just fight all of the enemies. There are higher level syndicate thugs over here since these are higher level areas, and syndicate thugs will always aggro to you if you run by them and they notice you. you know, if you run, I should say, close enough to them, and then they will end up trying to fight you. So this is one of those Syndicate's camps that I was talking about earlier that I want to show off, but this is a higher level one, so it'll be a great one to show off for good XP. So, as you can see, boom, it gets a little bit of XP, but the Syndicate Thugs seemingly give less experience than a lot of the pals themselves, even if the Syndicate Thugs are a little bit of a higher level. But since they all since they all group up together, it's a really good method to just kill them. You can also capture them, by the way. I don't want to alarm you, but you can definitely capture them. There's just such a low capture rate, even for the low-level ones. It's not really worth it. They're not good at doing stuff, and half the time they deflect the ball anyways. So it's just not really the best idea. I don't have the strongest weapons right now. I have a lot of gear that I need to upgrade. It's a little annoying. But these are the Syndicate camps, and that is why they are good general leveling experience. You'll get all of your pals out, they'll start fighting everyone, and then you'll start getting new pals captured, right? I got 2,300 character XP for that. I got maybe like 1,000 to 2,000 pal XP because of all of the pals that they murdered. So it is just general good XP. Those do not give XP, right? You see how I got loot? No XP. So those are all my general tips and tricks for gaining experience and leveling up in Palworld. Let me know if it helped. If it did, subscribe, like, and check out any of my other videos to help support the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Cheers.